Hello everyone and welcome to the lesson. The topic of our lesson is unusual kinds of sport, or we can also speak about our hobbies, usual or unusual. Open your copybooks and put down the date. Monday, the 23rd of May, classwork. Well, we are speaking about unusual kinds of sport, speaking about your hobbies, and today we are revising some information about conditionals. Вспомним с вами, что такое условные предложения, и научимся работать с ними в упражнениях. So, first look at the pictures you have got in your books, page 122, 123. There are some sports: ice climbing, underwater hockey, sandboarding, zorbing, skydiving, snowboarding, rock climbing, and paragliding. Look at the pictures and tell me what kind of sports you can see in the pictures. What kind of sport can you see in picture A? It is sandboarding. Picture B, what kind of sport is it? It is zorbing. Picture C, what is it? It is ice climbing. And the last picture, it is underwater hockey. Which of the following activities do you see? We can see ice climbing, sandboarding, underwater hockey, and zorbing. What does it mean to do sandboarding, to do zorbing, to play underwater hockey and ice climbing? Try to suppose. Попробуйте предположить, что собой представляют эти виды спорта. Well, now we are reading and listening to the texts. Итак, мы готовы читать и слушать тексты.
Module 8, Pastimes. Unit 8A, Reading and Vocabulary. Exercise 1, page 122. Out of the ordinary. Brian Potter has been sandboarding for the past 7 years. He loves it because he can do it pretty much anywhere there is sand. He says,
I'm a real speed freak, and I find nothing more exciting than to take out my board and whiz down the sand dunes.
The general idea of sandboarding is the same as snowboarding. People simply strap a board to their feet and slide down a hill. Brian says,
Last year, I entered the International Sandboarding Championships in Germany. There were around 50,000 entrants, and I came 100th, so I was pretty proud.
Carla Murphy is known in certain circles as a Zorbanaut. This is because she spends some of her free time inside a large inflatable plastic ball called a Zorb.
Zorbing is so much fun. I just can't get enough,
she says. Zorbing involves rolling down a steep hill strapped inside a ball, which can reach speeds of up to 50 to 60 kilometers per hour if the hill is steep enough. Up to 3 people can be inside at the same time.
It's fantastic. You're totally protected from bumps and knocks by the Zorb, but you bounce around as if you are weightless. Anyone from 6 to 60 can do it,
Carla explains. This bizarre activity originated in New Zealand, and now there are centres all around the world. Carla thinks it's great.
When we start rolling, we just start laughing and we can't stop.
Paul Lynch has been practising ice climbing for several years now and has climbed many frozen waterfalls.
My parents took me skiing to the Alps when I was a child, and ever since I've been addicted to the mountains. I moved to Canada a few years ago and I fell in love with ice climbing. I spend most of my free time climbing ice in the Rockies. Basically, ice climbing involves swinging an axe into the ice above your head and pulling yourself up on it. You need a lot of equipment such as a helmet, rope and boots for ice climbing. And of course, it's very physical, so you really have to be in good shape,
says Paul. Harry Bolton didn't really like sport at all until he discovered something both new and unusual.
I was listening to the radio one day when I heard something that I thought must have been a joke. The DJ was talking about underwater hockey. When I realised it actually was a real sport, I decided to find out more about it. To my surprise, I found a local team, and before I knew it, I was part of it.
Unlike water polo, where the action takes place above the water, underwater hockey is played at the bottom of the pool. Players wear masks, flippers and snorkels during the game.
The rules are really simple. You just have to slide the puck into the opposing team's goal,
says Harry. Underwater hockey was invented by a British diving club in 1954 and was originally called Octopush. Harry told us,
unfortunately, it's not much of a spectator sport. As all people watching from outside the pool can see, are lots of splashing and flippers.
So, we listened and read the texts. Now, your task is to answer the questions. Which person or people have been doing their sport for over 2 years? Has to be very fit? Do a sport that is similar to another sport? Found out about their sport from the media? Has taken part in an event? Do their sport with others? Didn't believe their hobby existed at first. Stop the video, reread the texts and do the task. Итак, подберите буквы, названия текстов, которые отвечают на эти вопросы. Well, let's check. Which person or people have been doing their sport for over 2 years? A and C. Over 7 years and several years. Which person or people has to be very fit? C. The person who does ice climbing. Which person or people do a sport that is similar to another sport? A. Sandboarding is similar to snowboarding. Which person or people found about their sport from the media. D. The person got to know about underwater hockey from a radio. Which person or people has taken part in an event? A. There was an international competition. Which person or people do their sport with others? B. Zorbing, and D. Underwater hockey is a team game, and zorbing, there can be 3 people in a zorb at once. Which person or people didn't believe their hobby existed at first? D. The person who does underwater hockey didn't believe it was a real sport. So, I think you managed with this task. Now, working further. In the text, you can see words highlighted with yellow markers. Your task is to find synonyms to them. Move very fast. Hits, hooked on, fasten, rival, competitors, slip, jump, strange, started, turning over many times. Stop the video and match with the synonyms. Итак, ставим видео на паузу и подбираем синонимы к предложенным словам из текста. Well, now we are checking. Move very fast. Whiz. Hits. Knocks. Hooked on. Addicted to. Fasten. Strap. Rival. Opposing. Competitors. Entrance. Slip. Slide. Jump. Bounce. Strange. Bizarre. Started. Originated. Turning over many times. Rolling. If you didn't know any words, please learn them. Well, some words were mentioned in the text. Why? Why was snowboarding mentioned in the text? Snowboarding is mentioned because it is the sport which is similar to sandboarding. New Zealand. Why was New Zealand mentioned in the text? New Zealand was the country where zorbing started. Frozen waterfalls. Frozen waterfalls are places where people do ice climbing. The Alps. The man who does ice climbing used to go to the Alps with his parents as a child. And splashing. Splashing is the only thing you can see if you watch underwater hockey. I think it was not very difficult. Well, look at some other pastimes. Playing a musical instrument, listening to CDs, go to art galleries, painting pictures, reading books or magazines, going to the cinema, eating out, designing your own clothes, writing novels, watching DVDs, going to fashion shows, watching a game, playing computer games, working out at a gym. They are different hobbies. Of course, I know you don't have very much free time now, but anyway, you have some free time and you do something in this time. You are to tell me about your free time. Try to say not less than 10 sentences. You can start with the phrase, I haven't got much free time, but in my free time I enjoy, and tell me about your free time. 10 sentences must be sent to my mail or Viber. Ваше устное высказывание, пожалуйста, вышлите мне на почту или Viber. 10 предложений о том, что вы любите делать в свободное время и почему вам это нравится. Well, we are working further, and we are to remember what conditionals are. Давайте вспомним, что же такое условное предложение. В английском языке 4 типа условных предложений. Сегодня мы с вами посмотрим на первые два. Zero conditional. When we speak about general truths. Мы говорим о законах природы. Посмотрите. If you heat ice, it melts. Если нагревать лед, он тает. If you drop ice in water, it floats. Если бросить лед в воду, он плавает. Обратите внимание на употребление времен. Придаточное предложение условия если present simple. Главное предложение melts, floats present simple. Запомнили. Нулевое условное, то есть когда мы говорим о законах природы, работает только по времени present simple. И в придаточном предложении, и в главном. First conditional. Первое условное. Реальные условия. When we speak about something that can happen. Мы говорим о том, что может случиться в нашей жизни. If you work hard, you will succeed. Если ты будешь работать усердно, ты добьешься успеха. If the weather is fine at the weekend, we will have a picnic. Если погода на выходных будет хорошей, мы устроим пикник. Обратите внимание на времена. По-русски мы говорим, если ты будешь работать, если погода будет хорошей. У англичан есть правило. После if, после временного условного союза, нельзя использовать будущее время, нельзя использовать will. Поэтому англичане вместо future simple используют present simple. Это касается придаточного предложения. В главном нет никаких требований, поэтому мы используем future simple. Итак, запомнили. If, за ним идет present simple, а в главном предложении future simple. Давайте с вами выполним тренировочные упражнения. It is page 126, exercise 3. Winter comes, days get shorter. С приходом зимы дни становятся короче. Это закон природы. When winter comes, days get shorter. You hit metal, expand. физика. Если нагревать металл, он расширяется. If you heat metal, it expands. Iron gets wet, rust. Если железо намокнет, оно заржавеет. If iron gets wet, it rusts. Not water the plants, they die. Если не поливать растения, они гибнут. If you don't water plants, they die. Heat water 100 degrees, boil. Если нагреть воду до 100 градусов, она закипит. If you heat water 100 degrees, it boils. Drop ice on water, float. Если бросить лед в воду, он не утонет. If you drop ice on water, it floats. You come, we can talk about it. Все предыдущие предложения – это были законы природы. Теперь мы говорим о том, что может произойти. Если ты придешь, мы поговорим. А если не придешь, не поговорим. If you come, we can talk about it. Can можно заменить на will. If you come, we will talk about it. They meet, they discuss all details. Если они встретятся, они обсудят все детали. Не встретятся, соответственно, не обсудят. If they meet, they will discuss all the details. Обратите внимание на слово unless. Unless можно использовать вместо if not. Если не, unless. Обратите внимание, unless уже отрицание. Значит, предложение будет строиться в утвердительной форме. Посмотрели. If we don't get tickets, we won't see the concert. Не достанем билеты, не попадем на концерт. We won't see the concert unless, отрицание, we get tickets. Get в утвердительной форме. Перестроим фразы, читаем внимательно вместе со мной. If you aren't sure she's at home, don't go. Пока не уверен, что она дома, не ходи. Unless you are sure she's at home, don't go. You can fix it. You can't fix it if you don't know how to do it. Ты не отремонтируешь, если не знаешь, как это делается. You can't fix it unless you know how to do it. You can't sit here if you don't have a reservation. Здесь нельзя сидеть, если у вас не забронировано это место. You can't sit here unless you have a reservation. If you don't leave now, you'll miss the bus. Если ты сейчас не выйдешь, опоздаешь на автобус. Unless you leave now, you will miss the bus. If we don't pay the bill, the electricity will be cut off. Если мы не оплатим счет, электричество отключат. Unless you pay the bill, the electricity will be cut off. Поставьте видео на паузу и еще раз перечитайте пары предложений. One more exercise. Выполняем еще одно упражнение. Page 126, exercise 5. First, conditional. Работаем в первом условном. What are you doing this weekend? Weather be warm, go to the beach. Если погода будет хорошей, пойдем на пляж. Строим предложение, потом проверяем со мной. If the weather is warm, we will go to the beach. Our car get fixed, go on a trip. If our car gets fixed, we will go on a trip. Gallery be open, go to an exhibition. If the gallery is open, we will go to an exhibition. Get tickets, go to a pop concert. If we get tickets, we will go to a pop concert. This new film be on, watch it at the local cinema. If this new film is on, we will watch it at the local cinema. Be in the mood, tidy up my room. If I am in the mood, I will tidy up my room. Перечитайте предложение еще раз. Now your homework. Итак, ваше домашнее задание. Слова и правила обязательно выучить. Описать свое увлечение. По заданию на страничке 123, номер 7. Правила вашего увлечения, какой нужен инвентарь, как часто вы этим занимаетесь, с чего началось ваше увлечение и так далее. 15-20 предложений должно быть написано. So, that's all for today. Goodbye and good luck.